A garage walk around? Really, Michael? What are we doing? So I am nosy and I'm curious. So I want other people to do a garage walk around that do the overlanding stuff. I'm kind of interested in like how you keep your gear set up and, you know, like, do you have a work, like, do you, I don't know, show off stuff. Show us what you got. But I've also got some things that I plan on doing with some of the spaces, and I want to introduce you to those so that you'll kind of know what's going on whenever I do videos from these different places here in the garage. So this is what I'm going to call the workbench. This is where I'm going to do gear reviews. I'm going to do like going over some of the gear that I own. In fact, I just did my kitchen one, and so that'll come out after this one because timeline stuff. But yeah, so this is where I'll do that kind of stuff. And like this, kind of be able to pull it out, get it out here, open it up, show you what I've got in the box. Do that with my bags. I can do that with everyday carry. That's kind of what I'll do here. And if I do some DIY stuff, most of that will be geared to this section because I'll have my tools and different things in this area. So yeah, this is what we're going to call the workbench. Whenever I do these segments, it'll be a lot of gear and DIY stuff. I'm kind of excited about it. Let's go over to the corner. All right, we've made it over to gear corner, and this is just a corner of the garage where I keep most of my gear. I think this area is probably going to where I'm going to do a lot of my podcasting about maybe some breaking news, maybe talking trash on people. I don't know what I'm going to do in this section, but I tell you what, I have to use it because the lighting is so phenomenal. Like this is just the fluorescent lights in here, and just like the space over there, I think the lighting is perfect, and I have to take advantage of that because the photographer in me was just like this. The lighting here is perfect. So over here, I just kind of keep everything. We can go through it just real quick, but that's kind of not what this area is meant for. This is just kind of background stuff, but to let you know what I have in my background and what I do use, because I've got a straight shot out the garage here. There's more than enough space to get through. If that's ever kids get their bikes and stuff and I still got to go, I've got a side door just right here. So this was kind of a perfect place to be able to put my gear, to be able to get to it, to be able to get it to the truck, to be able to look at it, to inspect it, to do all the things. And the workbench is just right over there. Like Sarah's car's in the middle. I got plenty of space. Love it. So we'll just kind of go through. I've got my pop-up fire pit. And to be honest, I kind of like this better than everything else I've used so far. The solo stove, and then there was something else that I used. Dale's got the Brio, and he just got a solo stove gifted to him, so he's going to compare those and let me know what he likes better. But I feel like I just get a warmer fire out of this. As far as sitting around the fire and wanting the warmth, this really gives me a good heat. And you can kind of stick your feet kind of up under it a little bit and get your toesies warm. But I do have a solo stove. I like the solo stove, but it's just not the warmest. It doesn't put off a lot of heat, I feel. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Maybe you can give me some tips. We've got some fuel up here. I've got my Midland speaker. I just can't figure out where to put it in the truck. So I'm struggling with that. This case right here, I keep a bunch of old cords in. I even have an old, like, GoPro cord. Like the big, like it was like almost square, but it was thick. You know what I mean? Like that, one of the first cords. I've got that GoPro, and I've got probably 2 or 3 cords in there for it. But I've got all kinds of cords in there. And a lot of times if I'm with a big group, I'll take that with me because inevitably somebody loses a cord and it's something weird and no one's going to have it. And I sometimes do. So I've got that, and then my Midland handheld radios, which I take with me all the time. If I've got more than one person going with me, I take those just in case they don't have a radio and I want to communicate with people and be able to talk and all that kind of stuff. I actually have 2 sets of those. And then I've got some hammocks back there. I've got a little bitty mini, like off-brand solo stove. It may be a solo stove, I'm not real sure. But it's like the little desktop one. And then my RC truck that has blown out a front tire, so we can't talk about that. I've got a propane fire pit. I recommend getting one of those. This one I really like. I can't pronounce. It's that begins with an I, something weird. Again, why? But this one's really, really good. I like that. It puts off some heat. These aren't known for putting off a lot of heat, but it puts off some heat. Works really good in the awning, especially whenever I have the walls down. Diesel heater. That's been so awesome to have here in Alaska. So glad that I have this one. And it's the big boy, so it works really well. And then just some odds and ends, some pots and pans and stuff. I've got my Camp Chef Mount Everest, I think is the one that I have. Stove there. I've got my sleeping bag. It's a North Face. Here are the walls. So I keep the walls to the 270 awning right up there. Another one of those little bitty like Camp Chef style stoves, a buddy heater, 2 empty cases. So I've got my backpack up here and it's got my bang bangs and stuff like that, that whenever I'm going camping, definitely take, because this is big time bear country. And then the backpack's cool because with my shotgun, I've got a sleeve that'll go just right in. So pretty cool. I've got an electric skill saw, so it's a chainsaw. I got an electric one because I didn't want to have to fiddle with the gas and the reliability. This thing is ready to go all the time. And here's the deal. If I'm cutting enough wood, if I'm cutting enough trees that this battery can't handle, I have no business being on that trail by myself without like a crew of people out there to cut trees. That's just not fun to me. You know, I don't mind cutting a few things out of the way, but if I'm doing something like the McCarthy Trail with Overland, now if it's a group and that's the decision that we've made and we know what we're getting into, then great. But if I'm going down, bombing down some road and I've got 5 other choices, I'm getting back out of that one. I'll do that another day. Take some more people with me, or if I need more than just one battery cycle, I don't need to be on that trail. At least not right then. Bring more people. Have more resources. But yeah, that pretty much takes care of the corner. I've got a little table here that I'm actually going to lift up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit bigger, so that I could put some stuff on, maybe even my computer, maybe the microphone if I need it. But yeah, I'm super pumped. The lighting, again, is just phenomenal. I am ready to get some things going. It's wintertime. Obviously, things have slowed down. I would love to be doing a lot of winter camping, but it has been raining. It has been windy. I mean, windy like Oklahoma, bad wind windy. Like 40 to 95 mile an hour winds from here to Anchorage. Mainly Anchorage getting the bigger stuff, but we've got quite a few people out without power. In fact, I didn't go to work today because we didn't have power all weekend. We didn't have power this morning. And I think we ended up getting power, but Marv said at that point he was just going to work on getting the ice taken care of on the parking lot because it was just a still skating rink. Anyway, come see me in Northwood Buildings. We build sheds, cabins, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, little plug for my work. But yeah, let's do this. Hey, whatever you do, make sure that you go all over.